Game recognized gaming, you looking real familiar right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Say what? Old school. We back. Like that. Season 6 remix. Back like we never left. It's your boy, Chaos J. And I'm here with the other half of the dynamic duo. Long time no see.
What's going on? What's up, everybody? I'm Olivia Gabaree. You can hit me up at the Real OG.
I haven't seen you since, wait, the DMC.
Which you can also check out. Black
Exactly.
Hollywood Live. Dating, mating, and communicating.
Social media communications expert. Right here.
Exactly. And you
Check
know,
your girl.
You know, we're like reliable sources because we're also catfish experts. So really, we know how the game goes.
Pretty much.
But can I tell you, I feel like catfish has given me PTSD because anytime I'm talking to a dude on any type of social platform, I can't help but to think like, okay, are they real? You know, I'm guilty of an image
So like,
search.
are you? I was just about to say, like, so every time you get that, like, yo, hey, let me get a pic, and then as soon as he sends that pic, you're like, reverse.
Yes.
What's your
like,
number? Reverse.
Not so much with Instagram, but like, you know, I'm guilty of like a little bit of Bumble here and there, and it scares the shit out of me because I know what people are capable of.
Right. Well, hey, you know what? Better safe than sorry.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't be mad at it. Better safe than sorry. I didn't tell you where you can find me because I forgot. It's your boy Chaos J on Twitter. Chaos_Oceans31. 31 flavors of waviness all day, 24/7, 365 on Instagram. Let's go. So, Johnny, hence the song. Who's Johnny? She said. Johnny and Connor.
Yep.
And Johnny's mad familiar.
Mad familiar.
Like, he's on episode 2 familiar.
And see,
not episode 2, the actual episode. He's just on his second episode of Catfish.
And the thing is here I am saying that I have PTSD from being on a Catfish after show, but this fool has been on Catfish before, being the catfisher, and now he's on the other side being the catfishy. Fishy.
Yeah. It's mad fishy. Pun intended. And what's so crazy is that when we see him in the other episode, he was the catfisher, and then now he's writing to them because he thinks he's being catfished, and he already knew that there was going to be some kind of pushback, so he went by Johnny on the last one, and he wrote in as Jonathan to kind of throw them off so that they would actually pay attention to his request for help.
I see what he did there.
See what he did there? So we have Johnny and Connor, and Johnny meets Connor on Tinder. Okay. Johnny's from NorCal and Connor is from San Francisco. Where Johnny is from exactly, I don't know. I think
they're both in the northern.
They're northern region.
Monterey and San Fran. I don't know.
San Fran's not that far from Monterey, so
it's a drive away. But I mean, California's California. At least it's not across the country.
This is very true.
It's very reachable.
If you're in Cali and I'm in Cali, then there's possibilities and opportunities there.
True.
You know, depending on how committed
But
you
then
are.
again, we see people being catfished in the same city, and they still
Same
manage to
city
fall for
and-
it and never
yeah.
meet each other.
Never.
So anything's possible.
Okay, so aside from the fact that it's so hot. Okay, so if you see us wiping our brows,
a little hot in here.
it's not because we're sweating bricks because we don't know what's happening with Johnny and Connor. It's literally because it's really hot in here. So Johnny meets Connor on Tinder. They talk like every day. You know, we already know the story. Every day, you know, text back and forth. Oh my God, heart eye emojis. Oh my God, what you doing, babe? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see you again. Blah, blah, blah. Or see you. Okay. They connected, they meshed, and it just all of a sudden, Connor disappears.
Yep.
He's gone.
Ghost.
Just super ghost.
I think the correct terminology would be.
He went ghost. So he gets ghost. He's gone. We don't hear from Connor for a cool minute. His Tinder profile shut down. Social media shut down. And then he just comes back. And apparently he lost his phone.
He said it was lost or stolen. He got hacked, so he had to delete all of his social media.
But see, here's my thing. If you lose your phone, someone picks up your phone and starts just, going through and doing stuff, is it really hacked?
No, and
you lost your phone, so it's just fair game.
Right.
At that point.
But,
and even if your phone's stolen, I don't really feel like it's... I feel like when you can only say you're hacked when you still have your phone in your possession, but someone actually just goes in from another location and takes over your social media profiles, which I had happen. I had someone, hack my Twitter once.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It was nasty. Hacked my Twitter, changed my profile. Well, obviously they changed my password.
Yeah.
Changed my profile, changed a whole bunch of stuff, and low-key took it over. Took over my TL, started...
Did you ever get it back?
Oh, yeah, I got it back.
Were they posing as you?
No, they weren't. They took it over and was just like, okay, this is the new identity. This is whatever it was.
Wow. And did you just contact Twitter and they gave it back to you?
I just contacted Twitter, and then I had to prove, like, I was who I said I was and a few other things. And, yeah, it took about 2 or 3 days, and I got it back.
But, and also, here's the thing, is I've lost my phone before, and... I would use social media as my outlet to communicate with people. So if my phone's gone, the only way I can talk to you is through like DMs. And if I had a relationship with somebody, whether it was a romantic relationship or a friendship, I would go out of my way to DM them and be like,
yo,
what's
I don't
up?
have my phone.
Yeah, my phone's missing. Just want to let you know, like, I might fall off for a few until I get it back.
Right. And then let's not forget. Okay, let's not forget. Everyone's like, oh, I lost my phone, blah, blah, blah. But if you have more than Instagram, and you can't access Snapchat from regular computer, can you?
No.
Okay, so if you have more than Instagram and Snapchat, you can still communicate. Like, I can get on Twitter from my computer.
And Facebook.
And MySpace.
If
and
you want
Friendster.
To. There's so many, and iMessage. Like, I don't know. There's just where there's a will, there's a way.
Honestly,
and if you wanted to communicate
worst case
someone,
scenario, you low key can just send somebody an email.
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said if someone just falls off the face of the earth, literally ghosts you. They're ghosting you for a reason. Just saying. But, not everybody is swift as I, so, okay.
This is very, very true.
I understand,
because
maybe.
If I were talking to someone that I was just head over heels about, and I lost my phone, I lost my phone, and say all I had was Instagram and Snapchat, so I can't just get on the computer. Granted, yeah, I can get on, I can get on Instagram, and I can post, I can get on Instagram, and I can put a comment on their picture. Yo, lost my phone.
Yeah.
Hit me up at blah, 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 blah. Or, because I don't think you can do DMs through Instagram.
No, not on the computer.
Or, here's a crazy scenario. All your friends have phones.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, follow so-and-so.
Yeah.
Send them and let me send them a message.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This is so-and-so. I lost my phone. I'm sending this from my friend's account. If you really about that life and about that person, like you said, if there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying, like, that's just off top what I thought of. If I'm like, no, like, Shelby needs to know I'm okay and everything's cool. Like, I don't want her moving on to somebody else.
And not for nothing, but if someone ghosted me like that and all of a sudden start talking to me again out of nowhere, I would be a little suspect.
Crazy suspect.
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk. Like, what happened? And you can't just be like, oh, I lost my phone.
You don't have the nerve to hit me up anywhere else.
Like, nothing. Like, yeah, no. So, Connor lost the phone, had to recreate profiles and all that because he was hacked. Johnny had previously tried reverse searching his pictures and came up with nothing. So he goes to Max and Nev. And Max and Nev immediately is like, there's something real familiar.
They really,
And then once they realize it, then they
like roast him.
They do.
They have a right to.
It's very much deserved. Like, he needed to be roasted from the last one. So now, how do you, someone who's catfished someone else for an extensive period of time, get catfished? Like, how that happen?
I don't understand. That, that's your craft.
That's
you gotta know your craft.
Right? Like, if I'm a hacker and I get around hacking people, trust, you're gonna have to be like 20 times better than me to hack me. And
this guy was not like, this is not a good catfish. I feel like it was very obvious, and maybe he just wanted it to be true, so he just like pretended like he didn't see the signs.
But I'll say there were a few twists and turns, and one of those twists being, and we find out towards the middle, is that he says that Connor tells him that he lives with his ex, which is Cameron. Like, coincidentally. Like, oh, that's your ex? Like,
oh, so that's my roommate. That is the weirdest.
That's so crazy.
That is wild.
Like, who would have ever thought? And you don't get even a little bit sus? Like, something's not right. Because as soon as I heard that, the first thing I was thinking was like, yo, that's the ex.
Yeah. But then, as the story unravels a little bit more, I mean, his ex, it was another C. What's his name?
Cameron.
Okay, so his ex, Cameron, he was brought up multiple times in this instance and in the previous instance. And, like, he is just... so the way he speaks about him is so obviously infatuated by him that this situation is too close for comfort, and it automatically makes me sus, because I'm like, well, you really love this dude and you were like low-key obsessed with him. So
who's to say you're not just really trying to get back at him, and you're really just manipulating Nev and Max, which is what they even said. Right. Like, how do we know you're really not trying to run game?
Exactly. And then there's the other side of it where you almost think that maybe it's the ex trying to contact him again. But from my perspective, it really didn't seem like the ex would have any time for that.
Right, because the ex didn't even really have time from the first step, from the last go round, which is why he was out catfishing, because he was really trying to get the attention of his ex, who really he gave 0 Fs.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So Cameron's profiles are locked down when Max and Nev try to dig and do a little digging and see if maybe Cameron is behind, Connor. They don't get any hits when they do the reverse search. And then they notice that Connor has a Monterey phone number. And Johnny is from Monterey. So again, like you said, same city, and you still don't really know who that person is.
Right.
And you don't even know that you're being catfished from someone that's in your same city. Because the person that you're telling, that's the thing, but then at the same time, I guess, because there's always a BOD. And you give somebody the BOD low-key, because you're like, it's like, oh, well, Kels, why you got a 714 number? You're not in Cali?
Yeah.
I used to be in Cali, but I moved back to Columbus, Ohio. So, yeah, I just didn't change my number because, everybody has this number. Oh, okay. And low-key, you think about it, you'd probably buy it. Kind of. If you were able to validate that I really had lived in Cali before, and then I moved, it's plausible, and I gave you a good reason as to why I moved back home, like, oh, I take care of my parents, or, oh, I have a better job opportunity, or, oh, it's too expensive, because we know the rent is too damn high in LA, then you might low-key fall for that.
Okay.
So
BOD
on that one. All right. So they go to where Connor says that he lives. And they get there and they knock on the door. It's in San Francisco. They get there and knock on the door. Older white gentleman answers. We find out he's the landlord. What did you think at that moment when he answered the door? What did you think?
Nah, I knew he was the landlord.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No sus at all?
No, he didn't look like a guy that would be doing any type of...
He could have been lonely.
For real?
He could have been lonely.
You thought it could have been him?
For a split second, until they actually started having a full-on conversation, I was like,
yeah,
wait, maybe. Like when he steps out and then they kind of pull back and you see him talking to, I think it was Nev, see him talking to Nev for a hot second. I was waiting. I was like, okay, wait, he's gonna say something and it's gonna let us know, like, yo,
yeah,
this
he was
might be the dude.
like the way they had pauses.
Right.
I think it was edited to make us feel a type
and so
of
it got
way.
your boy. It got your boy, because I was like, oh, okay, this might be that dude. But then no.
At this point in time, though, I was really suspect about Johnny, because if we go back a little bit to the conversation they were having in the car, first of all, we need to point out the fact that Nev and Max really went in on him to the point okay, rightfully so. I mean, he pulled this shit before, but I almost felt a little bit bad for him because they were really roasting him.
Yeah, and Max was definitely not letting up.
Care.
He was going in. He was like seriously, like, you're wasting our time. Let us know right now. Like, are you lying? Like,
you're a lawyer.
Right, exactly. Like, tell us, just let us know. Like, this is all you just trying to get back with your ex. And he's like, no, right. I promise. And then like the whole time he was kind of quiet and he kind of started going into himself. And I kept thinking like, yo, this dude's lying.
But how about the conversation they were having about his ex? You see, this is what got me the most, is he was talking about their relationship in a manner of which it seemed like he just got ghosted. He painted us a picture like this was a real relationship. This was a two-way thing. Like, we had future plans, this, that, and the other. And then, you know, he kind of hit me with a, it's not you, it's me. But then Johnny went the extra mile and made his birthday plans in San Francisco so he could invite this dude.
On the hopes of seeing Cameron.
Right. Like, on the low, though. Like, not even telling his homies that that's the reason why he's going there.
He's like, no, I really just want to go to San Fran. Like, I just really want to.
Right.
Like, that's where I feel like I should celebrate my birthday.
Already, I'm thinking, like, okay, this guy's finessing ways to make this stuff happen. So
it's not really that far-fetched that
I'm not ruling this out.
Right, exactly. No, and that's fair. So when they talk to the landlord, Mark, he reveals that only Cameron lives there. Mm-hmm. There's no Connor, and Cameron lives there with a couple. Mm-hmm. He gives Cameron a call. Cameron obviously doesn't answer, or did he answer?
He didn't, but then he calls.
Then he calls, right? Because right before they go ahead and they get, he calls, gets the voicemail. They're like, okay, and they conclude like, okay, you know what? Connor's number is from Monterey. I guarantee Cameron has nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. That was just a diversion, and Connor's back in Monterey, so we got to go to Monterey. And I'm just like, what? And they get on the car like they're about to roll out to Monterey.
Dude, it's so
they
funny.
They really weren't even that far, though.
But if they roll up to San Fran, stay there for 5 minutes, and then they're like, all right, back to
Monterey. Yeah, like, wait, what? So they get back in the van or the car, the SUV or whatever it was, and then they have a missed call. They get a missed call from Cameron. Mm-hmm. So,
I felt really uncomfortable. I felt really uncomfortable.
So tell me about what Cameron had to say.
Pretty much, in a nutshell, he was saying that Johnny was delusional. That this entire, I'm not sure if this relationship was misinterpreted or he truly, genuinely thought that something was there that wasn't. But Cameron painted this picture that he forced me to hang out with him, and he kind of guilted me into it, or made me a part of a situation that I didn't want to be a part of. And Johnny's reading it a total different way, as if like they had something real, and he was totally caught off guard. And it's just interesting to see two people's like interpretation of the same thing.
Can we go into Chaos's interpretation?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what happened. Okay, because let's not forget, Cameron was Johnny's first dalliance in being a gay man. That's his first.
So
low key, whether you're gay or straight, almost, unless depending on the circumstances, most people are low key a little sprung on their first, at least initially, until they get some of that new from somebody else, and they're like, okay, it's the same but different.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just it's the same but different. I mean, it's shaped the same, it feels the same, but it's different.
Stop.
Okay, so he was sprung off that thing. Cameron, put his thing down, and for Cameron, it was probably just them having fun. It was super cash, and he didn't put much into it. But I think he underestimated the fact that he was Johnny's first.
Yeah.
So for him to be Johnny's first, and it's not even, I don't want to say that that having a first being a gay man is more significant than having a first as a heterosexual, because that's probably not the case.
Right.
But it is his first. And for him to come out, he was still low-key in the closet. So for him to actually go ahead and say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to try this, and Cameron be his first, he was sprung.
Yeah, okay, I see.
So then he definitely kind of blew things a little bit out of proportion, obviously. However, I do feel like, and Cameron even admitted to a certain extent, that he possibly could have let him on. But Cameron also tried to shake him by, I'm busy. And Johnny just didn't really get it. And when you're sprung on that young, you don't get it. You just like, no, like, okay, I'll just be patient. Like, I know you're really busy because you have like 10 jobs.
Yeah, like maybe we'll hang out tomorrow. Oh, like what about the next day? Are you free next week?
Okay, so you're not free for another month? Okay, I mean, that's cool.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think happened.
Oh.
Poor Johnny.
Poor Johnny.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that phone conversation, because, like, they didn't tell Cameron that he was on speaker, for one, and that Johnny was there listening. So, Cameron's low-key going in. Like, like, he's low-key crazy. He just, I told him time and time again, and he just didn't get it, and I'm just not really interested like that, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he just goes on. And then finally, they let him know. And he's like, oh, okay, well, hey, man, I'm sorry. But yeah. I'm just like, oh.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
Hurt my soul to watch.
Right? Low key. Like, can you imagine, like, a dude that you like, yo, he busy right now, but when he not busy, girl, we gonna be hanging. We gonna be hanging. And then, like, you get on speakerphone and you hear him talking to somebody. I was like, I don't know why. Like, she's bugging. Like, I have zero interest in her. She's not even that cute.
I would cry.
I'm not going to lie. I probably would, too, if it happened to me from a woman. I'd be like, oh.
Okay, then.
So, yeah. So, then we realized after talking to Cameron, it ain't Cameron.
Right.
Which we all thought it was Cameron. So now we're back to square one. Who is Connor?
Yep.
And would you like to enlighten us on what happens after that?
Well, I mean, after we ruled that out, there weren't very many options, because think about it, this person will not get on the phone, will not meet up. So there's something obviously that they're hiding that would be a dead giveaway. And even Max and I can't help but think it must be Johnny, because like why can't they at least get on the phone? The
same way we earlier thought that Connor didn't want to get on the phone because he would instantly be revealed, his identity would be instantly revealed. Same thing. Why is this person, now that we know it's not Cameron, want to get on the phone?
Yeah, and so they sat him down and they had this conversation with him. And I'm not gonna lie, I
was waiting for him to break.
I was talking out loud. I was like, oh, it's him. Like, it's him. It looked like just the way he was sitting there and the expression on his face. I really couldn't help but thinking. Yeah, like I couldn't help but think that he was guilty of something. And Nev and Max were like, okay, we're gonna text the phone, and you're gonna sit here with your hands where we can see them, and we're gonna see what's up. And they texted, and to my surprise, the phone number responded, and we saw his hands.
Right, he even put his hands up. Like, hey,
yeah,
that was not me.
Wasn't me.
And then so then they say, okay, well, I know where he lives, and I'm on my way over.
Yeah,
and every time they do that, it's like, oh my God, I don't know why, because that's exactly what we want. We want the catfisher to just be like, okay, cool, I'm on my way. But every time I hear like, yeah, okay, I'm on my way, I'm like,
everyone
oh my goodness,
out.
Call security.
But here's the thing, though, the biggest alarm of that situation is they didn't ask for an address. This person already knew where Johnny lived. So right then and there, we knew it was someone that he was familiar with.
But I'm not gonna lie, I did not see that coming when we go outside and we see the feet.
Chick.
We see the feet first, and then we see that it's attached to a woman.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and it wasn't like just a random woman. It was somebody that Johnny knew had hung out with multiple times.
Yeah.
Now, at first, I misheard, and I thought that they was getting busy. But they weren't getting busy.
They were just spending time together.
An extreme, like a lot of time. Like
right.
An extreme amount of time. More time than I guess some friends spend together, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Of the opposite sex?
This situation is just so ironic because, you know, this was happening to Johnny where he was trying to spend time with this other person that really just was not into him.
No time.
But he couldn't understand that and, like, misinterpreted all the signs. And without him knowing, he was also doing it to Shayna. Mm-hmm. And she was playing Johnny in the situation where she was misinterpreting all these signs as something that it wasn't. But he was so fixed on another individual,
he could not even realize what he was doing.
Yeah, and you know, I think that we're all I know I'm guilty of that. Sometimes your heart and your mind is just so set on something else that you don't even notice this person that is showing you so much love, and you're really just doing the same damn thing that this other person is, that you're crying about,
right?
That this other person is doing to you.
You don't pay any attention to me. Yeah. I don't understand why he doesn't know how I feel.
Meanwhile, and this other chick's like, yo,
what's up? Like, I'm here.
Over
like
here.
Like, I'm free. Like, I'm single. Like, we have such fun together. We hang out all the time.
Right.
You text me all day long. I text you all day long. Like...
And the most messed up thing about it is she felt inclined to act this way because she didn't even find out that he liked dudes until she saw it on television. And that's what hurt her the most.
Right.
And that's what made her initiate this catfish situation.
So, okay, let's bring this together here. All right. There should always be some kind of, I don't want to say expiration date, but time frame. Mm-hmm. When you are talking to someone / interested in someone / kind of dating, but you haven't really said, hey, we're dating, but you're doing all of the things that you would do if you were dating. Mm-hmm. If, just hypothetically, don't get weird. If you and I are hanging out all the time, mm-hmm. texting all the time, and by hanging out, we're going on day dates, we're going on night dates, all the damn time, I'm coming over to your place. We're hanging out, we're Netflixing and chilling, mm-hmm. the legitimate kind, not the R-rated, X-rated kind where we're butt naked. But like the PG-13, you know, we're chilling. Maybe we're cuddling, maybe we're not. Mm-hmm. But we're hanging out. We're spending time in just various forms. Mm-hmm. After a certain amount of time, like we're having these crazy fun, but yet awkward moments. Like, yeah, maybe I should kiss her. Oh, well. And you're probably like, oh, hey, how come you hasn't kissed me yet?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And, you know, long awkward pauses before I leave to go home or for you leave to go home. And kind of like embrace. Then like kind of pull away, but then we kind of like, okay, all right, so I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All that awkward stuff, which clearly happened between Johnny and Shayna. At what point do you say, okay, yo, what are we doing here?
Right.
As a man, I'm gonna be like, yo, like I ain't got no kiss. I mean, like
it's a red flag.
We haven't done anything, so what's up? Mm-hmm. And I would expect a woman to do the same thing. Like, we've been hanging out for like months, and you ain't even tried as much as to just get a peck.
Right.
Like, you ain't grabbed on my booty. Like,
it's strange. It is.
It's low key weird. So there should always be a time frame in your mind, like, yo, this is going on for a month, or this is going on for 2 months, or whatever the case is, depending on the frequency of how often you guys hang out. How often we're texting all day, every day, like multiple times.
But I
like
think,
before I go to bed, I'm talking to
right.
you, vice versa.
And it's
and
weird.
You don't question that?
It's weird because at that point you're probably so comfortable with the person. If you are spending a lot of time with them, I think I would be comfortable enough to be like, all right, what's up? Like, what's going on here?
Like, I like that lipstick and I want to kiss your lips, but what are we doing? Like, am I low key in the friend zone? Like, what's good?
Yeah, and I mean, bottom line, he kind of ghosted her in the same way that he got ghosted. But the part it's like messed up because, you know, I get it. She probably felt embarrassed, and that's why she felt like she needed to do this to get back at him. But it was crazy because she wanted an answer like, okay, are you gay? Are you bi? Are you straight? What are you? And we already know that it's
gay.
but not even that. It's just so hard to put someone in a box like that.
Because, you know, you can really like dudes as a dude, but then you low key still see chicks like, hey, she could get it.
But however, I really don't even think that's the question that she was asking. She really wanted to know,
was he still into her?
Yeah, like,
or was he into her?
Yeah, like, were you ever into me? Is it me that you have a problem with, or is it just women that you have a problem with? You know, she wanted to know, like, am I just not popping enough for you? Or you straight up don't like chicks? Obviously, the ideal answer would be, I just don't like women.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
like that meat stick?
That's why she did all this just to get that answer when she already got the answer on goddamn television.
On national television.
Yeah, and it's like,
wait. And then let's go even further. If you weren't 100% convinced after seeing him on Catfish.
Yeah.
Catfishing another man. And then and all the things that happened with that situation. You posed as a dude and talked to him. Right,
duh. And so it's obvious what's up. Like, come on.
He wasn't like, yo, bro, did you see that game? You see they just traded Chris Paul? No, they weren't having those conversations.
Right, they were having loving relationship type conversations, not friendly conversations.
Stuff. Like when I see you, I'm gonna give you a big smooch on the lips, boy.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. How, like, oh my gosh, like how can you be any more dense?
I mean, it was extremely clear. And maybe that's why she went ghost on him. I really don't know. But, you know.
Or.
What?
Did she get ghost after the Catfish episode and she didn't know how to take it and she's just like, oh no, I can't even, and she just went ghost and then came back like, no, because the way he looked at me when we were, you know, playing putt-putt, and I know it's there.
I mean, we're not exactly 100% sure of the timeline of things. It's just, I feel bad for the both of them because both of them took an L in this situation.
Big L.
But Max and Nev really weren't. It's like they were scolding him because he, you know, what goes around comes around. But she's still in the wrong. Like, she still did something fucked up and they didn't even really throw any shade.
Honestly, but I get why they didn't, because they're just like, you know what? You did this to someone else. And now you can firsthand see how it feels. We don't have to do hypotheticals. We don't have to say, just put yourself in my shoes.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. You know, because it's happening to you right now.
Yeah.
So I think they were so focused on trying to make him realize, look, this all happened, and this is literally karma smacking you in the face, saying, hey, don't do this shit anymore. I think they were just so focused on, like, hey, if you learn from, you clearly didn't learn from what you did to someone else, now you're going to learn because it's going to happen to you. And I think they were so focused on trying to get him to just be in the moment and really see what he had done, what had happened to him, and what he in turn did to her, so that he would really I guess just see the gravity of it all and say, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, there's my light bulb
I
moment.
see. They were just teaching him a lesson, but when we skip to the 2 months later part, this fool is still online dating. I feel I would be scarred for life.
Right,
Never again.
It's IRL at that point.
Yeah.
In real life only. Only
Like,
at that point.
You fool me once, fool me twice.
Right.
Like, at that point it's your damn fault. And
Fool
I
me
would
once,
not be
shame on
taking
you. Fool me
any
twice,
risks
shame on me.
at that point.
Not even a little bit.
No.
I'm gonna meet you in real life. Hit up some gay clubs. Hit up some gay bars.
You just have to put yourself in a situation where you think you would thrive the most. And clearly he would be thriving in in-person contact at this point.
Definitely.
Because
anything
online
digital,
is not his
virtual
lane.
is not going to work.
No.
Not even a little bit. We saw Shayna on the follow-up, and she's doing good. She's talking
living.
to somebody. Her and Johnny are still cool. They hung out 2 weeks ago because let's not forget they both live in the same city. They didn't hook up. They didn't even kiss. They are just friends, and they're just strictly platonic friends now. And I think that's, again, like we said earlier, he was so focused on Cameron and Connor that he didn't realize that she had feelings for him. I think she was always just his little bestie.
Yeah.
For her, it was something completely different.
Yeah, she misinterpreted.
But, it's funny because even after everything that happened, I'll give him props. He did apologize. But even fast forward to when we get to see him 2 months later, like, they still was going in. Like, oh, now you got to do something else so we can get you on the third episode.
They roasted him like 56 times.
He got it. But you know what? I don't feel bad. Like,
yeah.
But it's funny because you see his face, he's kind of like, okay,
yeah,
all
it's
right,
like,
guys.
all right, we get it.
Like, I get it, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was a cool episode. It was, I get what you were saying when you said earlier, like, it was kind of hard to follow a little bit. And it wasn't hard to follow because it was complex or anything like that. It was just, it's like a whole bunch of randomness going on.
Yeah. Like, it's like 3 different relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, Johnny was busy. I'll say that.
Yeah. And maybe a little messy.
Yep.
Just maybe a little bit. And that's our episode. So we got a preview for next week's episode.
It looks good.
Predictions?
I mean, we gotta.
No predictions music, guys?
It's okay.
Okay. All right. No predictions music. Okay.
But we saw it's a person that has been catfishing for a decade.
That's a long time. That's some commitment right there.
That's an OG catfish.
That's DR.
I feel
Dedicated
like
and ready
that's like
to
a
catfish.
Catfish before catfish was a catfish.
Low key.
So
because it hasn't even been 10 years since the movie came out, which spawned this TV show.
Yeah. So he must be real good at it. He invented the game. He or she. We don't know who it is.
Yeah, we don't know yet. For me, I don't know. It's going to be good. Both you and I weren't really expecting to be back here.
Yeah, we got like a mid-season hiatus.
And they didn't really say it was a mid-season hiatus.
Yeah.
Normally we know, like, okay, the show will be back in a month or so. Given Neve just had a baby, it makes sense that they, took a break. Although they've done it in the past, but it just kind of makes sense that they kind of took a break and maybe it was a little bit longer than expected. I'm glad to be back.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to some new episodes.
The catfish is to come.
Catfish is to come. New show time. Not new show, obviously. Even though it's a remix, so we stay mixing it up on you. So we got a new day and time. We're now here on Wednesdays, 10 o'clock. So it comes on here 9, I believe, right? So we're legit on right after Catfish now. So you don't have to wait.
Official after show.
Official after show. You don't have to wait a day to see your favorite 2 people. We here right after the show.
That's right.
So after the party, it's the after party.
And you can hit us in the live chat, of course.
All day, because my live chat was a little dry tonight, but it's all right. I get it. We switched it up on you.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know.
They didn't know. Hence the remix. Keeping it, changing it up. She ain't even gonna be here next week.
Just gotta keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it fresh. She ain't got nothing to do. She just ain't gonna come in.
Not true. Not true. You know I stay dedicated to the catfish.
Dedicated all day. But yeah. So I'm your man, Chaos J. And you are.
I am Olivia Gabaree.
Oh,
How to rhyme
dynamic
it.
duo. I appreciate that. I see what you did there. Dynamic duo, back like we never left. We will see you guys maybe next week. She'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And then, hey, that was our Catfish After Show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you check us out on iTunes. 5 stars, 4 stars. The rest don't count. Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up wherever you want to hit us up and talk to us. Let's go. You guys be easy. See you on the next one.
Toodles.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.